Another concept I'm going to teach you today is about group dynamics. There is a theory on that, and that theory tells us how to enrich group experience, how to grow as a group. This is the theory of Johari Window. This model has been developed by Joseph Luft and Harry Ingham, so they call it Johari Window. They say that groups behave like in four windows. So one window is called open, where every member knows each other about each other. And the blind window is where one person is unaware of his qualities or drawbacks, but the group can see it. The hidden window is where a person hides his qualities or drawbacks, so nobody gets to know about it. He only knows or she only knows. And unknown window is about the potential of a group. And let's see how the potential of a group can be increased. Increasing the open window, the potential can be increased. So when the self-disclosure happens, and also when you give feedback to your other friends who are blind about their behavior, you increase the open window. And when both feedback and self-disclosure happens, the unknown window reduces as the open window increases. So the potential of the group increases or the group grows together. The principle of giving self-disclosure or doing self-disclosure is that it must be structured. So how do you structure the self-disclosure? The example of how you introduced yourself in the group, I had given you a structure. So that must be relevant to the group in which you are disclosing, and you must disclose what needs to be disclosed only. That has to be thought about and done, and that is why it is called structured. So that will bring in valuable uh, friendship among rest of the group. We also need to learn how to give a feedback. We use a formula to give feedback. So the important aspect of the formula is ask permission before giving a feedback. So it's something which you observed about the other person, and the other person may or may not be aware of it. So when you are saying something negative especially, or a constructive change that you want to suggest, the other person's acceptance is very important. That is how you respect or accept the other person as he is. Even when you are suggesting changes, it must be done with respect. So you ask permission, ask a second permission, and express it as I messages. Example, express it as what you felt about. And this must be based on something that you saw happen or heard that person say or something. So that is the structure with which feedback is given. When you do like this, feedbacks become very impersonal, and rather it is not heard as finding fault with them. So the chances of accepting is higher because you have taken permission and you're saying it as what you felt rather than blaming the other person. So please go through this and practice this. Just like giving feedback, it is also important how you receive feedback. When someone gives you a feedback, one needs to just listen, listen, and listen. We don't need to respond unless the person who gives the feedback wants us to respond and asks us a specific question. Just listen. It may be sometimes unpleasant, it may be sometimes pleasant. If it is unpleasant, think about it, and if you think it's not justified, you can reject it. Remember, you learned that as grown ups, you have the ability to reject negative strokes when we learned about strokes. So when a negative feedback comes, think of it, whether it is helping you, whether you really was unaware and the other person saw something which you were not aware of yourself. If there's no fact in what the other person is saying, reject it. But you don't have to tell that person that I am rejecting it. Rejecting is your personal thing. When the person gives you a feedback, just say thank you, whether you accept or reject. That's social courtesy. So, if we consistently use self disclosure and feedback in a structured and respectful way, the relationship between people in the group will improve. The open area will increase. We can improve our behavior. We can bring about change in our thoughts and feelings, because this whole process is about behavior, thoughts and feelings, as you saw in the first slide. So, when this happens, the group forms as a team, and this is a slogan for the team. Team is about together everyone achieves more. So let's be cooperative rather than be competitive.